Welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. 2 Samuel 13:15 tells of King David's son Amnon. Now I fell in love with Tamar, his beautiful half-sister. The story that follows presents a graphic and telling description of so much of the wrong that still acts in our society today. Because both lived in the king's court and were restricted by rules governing royalty, they had occasion to see each other fairly frequently, but there were obstacles to their having a typical courtship. Amnon was so smitten he became physically ill from longing for the charms of Tamar and was prepared to do almost anything to be with her. So he hatched a scheme with his servants to get her alone and defenseless. 2 Samuel 13, being stronger than she, he forced her and lay with her. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, Arise, be gone. And she said unto him, There is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. Then he called his servant and said, Put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. There is such a spirit of contradiction in man's nature that it will desire forbidden fruit, and the more strongly it is forbidden, the more greedily it is desired. How could Amnon think of forcibly stealing that virtue and honor of which he should, as a brother, have been the chief protector? His longing for an illegal relationship was no joy to him. It made him sick. An innocent relationship with her was apparently available to him, but he would have the sweetness of the secret passion. Amnon's friend and advisor, who might have reacted to the feeling he mistakenly called love by showing the natural revulsion at the thought of taking advantage of the weakness of another human being, instead, and after the manner of so many worldly friends, set about to teach Amnon how to get what he wanted, consequences notwithstanding. And so he had his way. And did it satisfy him? Was he happy? No. He destroyed whatever beautiful dream he thought he had had. He terribly damaged his sister's chance of happiness in life, and he unwittingly filled his heart with loathing at what he had once thought was so desirable. The more literal translation of his rejection of her would read, He called his servant and said, Put now this thing out from me. Here is shown the very core of selfish love. There is an emotion that masquerades as love, which says, I'll die if I can't have you. I can't do anything without you. Many a girl has been flattered by her beau being thus infatuated with her. But the truth is, this is a selfish and controlling emotion. Far better is a love that says, I long for you greatly, but I had rather go on longing for you all my life than that any part of me should cause one moment of trouble to you. A love that presses a maiden to surrender her virtue outside the appropriate commitments has the potential to give her mate exactly the sick feeling Amnon had to Tamar. He was sickened and filled with revulsion at himself for having so denied his own manhood. There is something he had violated which God put in him that is meant to make him treasure and shield the means by which new life comes into this world, as well as the beauty and purity of womanhood. Offended conscience stabs its sharpest assault upon his spirit. And that vile passion can transfer in the blink of an eye to the person with whom his lust was consummated. Tamar's innocence in the encounter meant nothing at all to Amnon's despising of her, neither her behavior nor her feelings nor anything else at all that she had could move him one iota from the beastly wickedness of his vile, defiled heart. Perhaps here is contained the mystery of why so often women of the night become hated murder victims, even to their former clients. The simple reality is that sin against family is a very hurtful thing, and there are few who practice it who can escape its consequences. This man was a prince, but his wrong cost him his life, dishonored his father and his sister, contributed to the death of his brother. Have you talked to God today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.
Never miss your favorite show again. For more than 30 years, KNEO has been bringing you great Bible teachers on a local and national level. And now, we've made it easier than ever to hear from these great men and women of God. KNEO's entire lineup is now available to listen anytime, anywhere, through our website. Go to kneo.org/podcast to see all the options. You can search for programs alphabetically, or you can select individual categories like culture, kids, leadership, or music. We even have a category just for locally produced programs, so you can hear from pastors and spiritual leaders located right here in the 4-state area. And all these resources are absolutely free. KNEO's mission is to get God's Word in front of you, and this is one of the ways we do it. Give it a try today. Go to kneo.org and click on the podcast tab to get started.